Hello everyone! Last time we began the story of Suramar, in which we talked about meeting up with Thalyssra, Elisande and her allegiance to the Legion, and gaining allies in the rebellion against her. Oculus, Voltroy and Lilith have joined the fight, while we gained the ability to disguise ourselves as Lilith's sibling called Aneris. This will surely come in handy, as we're going to infiltrate the city and make our way towards confronting Elisande, but first Thalyssra needs our aid with her withered research. All of Kel'dan's experiments to connect with the withered, they failed, and some even made them more dangerous. That is, until he found Verin. His arcane essence, the very soul of the Shelderai, it's been touched by something special, but what? That's what we're going to find out as Thalyssra weaves her own essence together with Verin's.
Be careful who you
Thalyssra,
trust.
you cannot be serious. Wasting your time on this creature? We should be planning our attack on Suramar.
That is precisely what I am doing. Let us begin. Come along, Theron. Narthala Vas Manari. I feel them. His memories. The day he was exiled. Dismiss these memories so we can proceed. This hunger, this fear. I too have felt it. Let us move on. Thala Narvalas. Such confusion. Such rage. I am losing control. Ah! Make them stop! Please make them stop! Ah! Enough! There. You found something, didn't you? Something which gave you peace. A peace we so desperately need for ourselves.
Thalyssra, are you all right?
I am fine.
She doesn't know what it was that Verin found, but she does know where he found it, namely Moonshade's Sanctum to the west. Whatever power altered Verin's arcane essence, whatever power allowed Kel'dan to create the spell to soothe the withered, its source rests there.
Can you hear me? Do not be alarmed. Arcane communion forms a bond that transcends physical space. I shall do my best to keep Theron off the line.
We found whatever it is that Verin touched, but it's sealed away tight. Like we did in the leyline facility, we line up the beams and we break the seal of tides, earth and sky, but as we do, we draw the attention of some unwanted guests.
A gift fit for a queen. You have my thanks. Now the power of the Acan'dor is mine.
The Velderai, or Spider Elves, they come in and steal the seed of the Arcan'dor away. Veilwalker Feridin has spent 10,000 years protecting that seed, and we simply let it fall into their hands. If you remember Kel'dan's journal, he mentioned waking up to a Night Elf's blade at his neck, asking him what he was doing to the withered. Searching for a cure, he replied, to which the Night Elf merely grunted and disappeared into the woods. That Night Elf is most likely Feridin, who has a soft spot for the withered, but we'll get to that later on. First, we must recover the seed, so we quickly go after Orafis and confront her in the Felanar tunnels.
The Arcan'dor will live again. With its power, we shall return to the surface. My prize. It grows heavy.
The Felderai was foolish enough to try and open the ancient seed, and now it's awakening. Without power, it will quickly wither and die, so we must carry the seed out of here and plant it somewhere safe. Back at our base, a stand is waiting, on which the seed sits perfectly atop and sinks in with a satisfying click.
Place it here, where it can drink of the ley line. It is an arcan'dor, a gift of the ancient magi. A tree made to feed upon the ley line. It can bring life or desolation. To care for the arcan'dor is a great burden, one which we now share.
Thalyssra is supposed to say, "We are the masters of the arcane night elf, I think we can handle a tree."
Huh. Arrogant. In time you will see. Beneath the arcan'dor, you will be renewed. There is no other path now.
Through this tree, we will find a way to convert the raw power from the ley lines into something that will not only sustain the Night Fallen, but make them whole again. It will take time for the arcan'dor to grow, so in the meantime, let's focus our efforts back to Suramar, as Lilith has sent out a message requesting that we meet her atop the Grand Promenade as it overlooks the city.
I will honor my
Behold, Suramar, our haven, our sanctuary, our prison. Elisande and the Legion seek to bring us to heel, through fear, through hunger. The flame of the Shelderai flickers. We must reignite it. We must stir the noble hearts of my people. You must show them that Azeroth has not forsaken them.
It is time for us to enter the city proper, as Lilith sends us to meet with her loyal friend Vantir.
Do you think you will have enough?
Enough for those most in need. The rest... welcome, welcome!
First thing you need to learn about the city: Arcwine. It's the vehicle by which they take in the Nightwell's energies. Without it, they will simply wither and die. The palace lackeys have seen fit to ration it, thinking that it will control the population, keeping them nice and quiet and complacent. Vantir won't let his people down like that, as he hands over a flask and asks of us to tend to those most in need. Unfortunately, the wine that he gave us that we hand out to the people, it was the last of his reserve, so we go out to meet up with Deline, who owns and operates a small delivery service. She informs us that there's no actual shortage of wine, it's just created by the Magistrix to keep them all in line. There's plenty of wine to steal from the loyalists, while we also take out some of the guards that have been paying a little bit too much attention to Deline and her operations. With that done, the wine will flow freely again, but Vereen shows up with more problems.
Oh, where could she have gone?
Try to relax, friend. We will find her.
Vereen's child has gone missing, and although Silgrin can guess what happened to her, he needs to be sure, so we steal some delicate information and we bring it back.
Farewell. Let me see. They've been rounding up a lot of people lately. Children, too.
Do you think Corrine could be with the other children?
Very possible. I'll have our friend here follow a guard in and find out.
We follow guard Morgaine through the streets, making sure not to get too close, and hiding in baskets in case someone notices our disguise.
Keep it down, brats. You will join the others soon. Where did you come from? Intruder!
We kill the guard and set the children free, but little Corrine is not willing to go with us just yet. She's pissed that they put her friends in cages, and she asks of us to stop the bad man from hurting them. More Nightborn citizens are in need of saving, as they're placed on display for all to see what happens if you speak out. We collect their keys, we set them free, and then we escort Corrine back to her mother.
I know this street, maybe. Yeah, and that's Vanthir's house. Bye.
We've done a lot of good work here today, but it's time to return to Thalyssra, and Vantir gives us a red bottle of Arcwine to give to her.
I will see that it is not wasted. Well done, my friend.
While we were busy in the city, Thalyssra reached a roadblock in her withered research. She feels like she's close to overcoming this barrier, but she's afraid that she cannot do it without some more advanced tools. Back at her estate, she's hidden an item called an arcane amplifier. It does precisely what the name entails, but it's more than likely that the Magistrix ordered her estate dismantled. If the amplifier remains, it will be in fragments, so we're sent out to check out her old place. We collect these fragments and we put them back together. While there, we also find a number of items that will be important to the Arcanist, and since we're here, we might as well pick them up and bring them back to base.
They are rifling through my drawers. Thieving rats! Please, recover my belongings. My robes. I missed these. I hope they still fit. Just in case the library does not survive Elisande's insanity, I will keep an eye on these tomes. It would be best if they did not know who I was conversing with before. You've done it. Guard it well until you can return to me.
Thalyssra thanks us for bringing back her amplifier and her personal belongings, since they are a comfort beyond words, and it seems that our little seed is feeding well from the ley lines and is starting to grow. It's not growing without problems though, since it has drawn the attention of some insects.
Farewell. As I feared, the Arcan'dor is in peril. Seek harmony.
I remember seeing something like this before, but where? Ah, the vineyards.
Tell me you are not seriously considering sending our friend on such a mission. That is suicide.
I have seen firsthand what the Arcan'dor's energies do for the withered. I have faith that it is worth the risk.
We will have to see then.
We need to infiltrate the Twilight Vineyards and bring back something to deal with these insects. To do that, we'll need to find a way to bypass the guards that keep the orchard secure. As you might imagine, Elisande is using the Arcwine to keep their people under control, so the security is tight. Lilith and her connections are the key to gaining entry.
I've procured a palanquin for you. Try to look imperious. It helps with the illusion. The woman you are looking for is named Margaux. She has shown interest in our cause.
As we ride up to the vineyards, we can see that starving citizens are standing at the gates, desperately trying to get in, but getting kicked out by the guards. Inside, we track down Margaux and we show her our sigil. She had heard the rumors. They always seemed a little bit too good to be true, but here we stand. To avoid suspicion, we'll have to go through a tour of the vineyards, as Margaux has to keep up appearance.
A tour? Of course! I will show you the grounds myself. The courtyard you just left is open to visitors. From here forward, one of my staff must accompany you. You can purchase souvenirs and gifts from Silverin, my assistant. Perhaps you could do that on your way out. This is our tasting pavilion. We serve only the finest varietals here. Many of them enjoyed in the palace. Feel free to try the samples we have available today. We will continue the tour when you are finished.
Who says that saving a city can't be fun, as we test out some of the delicious Arcwine.
The building we approach now is called the Aging Chamber. If you're at all familiar with the wine crafting process, you know that it is necessary to allow the juice to ferment. We prefer to shorten the process using time magic. Such power is our birthright.
This time magic is actually granted to them by the Nightwell, which was created with the Eye of Aman'Thul, so this artifact holds power over time. Margaux is relieved to hear that Thalyssra is surviving. It's not easy, but she isn't done fighting yet.
To my left, you will see one of our orchards. This one houses a species of tree that produces extra sweet fruit, which you tasted in the infusion.
Margaux is informed about a little insect problem, and she explains that it's the mana worms that prey on the insects that prey on their trees. She'll be sure to make some time in the tour for us to gather some.
The buildings before you house our bottling facilities. Each bottle is sealed with magic to prevent any of the Nightwell's essence from fading. A cask of arc wine from our vineyard can be safely stored for hundreds of years. Ahead, you will see our distribution facility. Here we arrange to send hundreds of barrels and casks of arc wine out to the city. The Magistrix monitors these activities very... Don't hurt him! I am so sorry. Please forgive this mistake. I will personally ensure it does not happen again.
Margaux hates the guards, hates what the palace has done to their vineyards. They serve at their pleasure, or they face exile and death, and we can see how the guards treat their own people. Her hands are tied though, as long as the Magistrix keeps the area secured. Is the resistance growing? She asks. Can it stand against Elisande? And we reassure her that hope is not lost and we make progress every single day. With a sigh, she understands that the odds are against us. They're beaten and exiled at every turn, but we and the first Arcanist still stand with them. She can believe in this. She can believe in the Dusk Lily. So it's time to finish up our tour.
Across this bridge is the most crucial part of our winemaking process. It is here that we instill our wine with Nightwell essence, which gives it the restorative properties our people enjoy. And this is where I leave you. I must prepare the next activity. I will meet you at the next station. My assistant, Silverin, will be happy to show you how the infusion process works.
We spend some time catching drops of the Nightwell essence using an energy vessel, and we join Margaux in her favorite part, actually making the wine.
The juices need a little massaging. Step into the vat and jump to squish the mixture around. Exactly what it needed. But there is still something missing. I think a sour note is in order. Excellent! You did very well. Are you certain you have never made wine before? I will have this bottled immediately.
We're now free to walk the vineyards and collect what we came for, the Shadescale Fly Eaters, while we also take time to help out our resistance and kill some of the moths that plague their vineyards. With that, our quest here seems to be done without a single hiccup. In and out, nice and easy. But Overseer Durand has heard of Margaux trying to stop the guards from beating the shit out of their workers.
Seize her! Silence!
By order of the Grand Magistrix, you are hereby charged with sedition. You undermine my authority and must pay the price.
I did what I thought was...
I will hear no more. The sentence is death. Proceed. Bring the vineyards to heel. I will tolerate no more insubordination.
Poor sweet Margaux. Her life snuffed out in an instant, all for trying to stop others from getting hurt. She was kind, she helped us out with our bug problem, and she even let us squish the wine. Why is it always the good ones that have to go first? But they won't get away with this. We'll make sure of that. But first, we need to get the hell out of here, as reinforcements are approaching.
I have detected a large number of teleportation spells targeting your location. I have enabled a teleporter for you. You haven't a lot of time. Locate the pad and get out of there.
Thalyssra is speechless as to what happened, and she sends us over to find someone who can make this right. Someone who will do whatever it takes to see Overseer Durand slain. We speak with Vanteer, who tells us to steel ourselves. Margaux's loss is regrettable, but is not likely to be the last in this effort, far from it. If we are to carry on, we need to send a strong message. We need those, like Durand, to know that we are watching, and we will hold them accountable. He knows just the person to send such a message, namely Arluin. He is cautious, will not risk himself without compensation, but nothing like a little deposit of some ancient mana can't fix, namely 800 in total, which is his price to risk his life for us. And when I say risk his life, I mean giving information, having other people do the hard work. Arluin informs us about a daily shipment of Arc wine, which travels to the palace with a very heavy escort. One of his men has infiltrated the group and will hold the delivery long enough for us to strike, rob the palace of their wine, and bring back a cut for Arluin. A cut that will need safe storage, and the guards have been looking too closely into Arluin's safe space, so we're asked to do him a solid and take out the guards. With that done, it's time to focus our attention on the murderer Durand. Arluin's companions, Lorin, Thalyssra, and Cyril, they join us in our quest for revenge.
Intruder! Face my blade! She sealed her fate, as you have sealed yours! You cannot defy me! Elisande will have your heads for this! Traitors!
Cyril can see why Arluin puts his faith in us as she places a dusk lily atop the corpse and laughs just before leaving. They will not so easily dismiss the Dusk Lily now, but there will be consequences for what transpired this day. For now, we can return to Thalyssra and tell her that we have avenged Margaux and that the Dusk Lily has announced itself to all of Suramar. There will be many more deaths before this is over, rest assured, but this is a death that will teach others, like Durand, to tread more carefully in the future. Back at base, we can see that our care for the Arcan'dor is paying off, since it's looking bigger and healthier than ever, and so is our rebellion, as our base is filling up with people, and we're letting people know that hope of liberating themselves from Elisande and the Legion is out there. However, more adventures, allies and enemies are waiting in front of us, but that's a story for another time, since I've been going on for long enough. For now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time, guys. See ya!